internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our script. Let's get right into today's video. We are on the verge of trillions of dollars flooding into this crypto sector by the first quarter of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to strap in for today's video because it is going to be action-packed. Everything is falling into place. And let's set the tone by David Cunningham from CITI. He is the head of digital assets and trade solutions at CITI. Listen to what he talks about trillions on standby and how daily volumes are going to exceed trillions of dollars in this crypto sector.
We're truly seeing large organizations do things at a scale which we haven't seen before using this technology, and those who have skills to help empower regular financial market infrastructure and regular players like globally systematically important banks like ourselves to operate in this space. We need your skills and we need your help, and I think we're going to see a massive adoption. In the next number of years where this really grows in the regulated space too, which is really exciting. But I think the key thing about all of this is that every element of doing this in a regulated environment takes some time and takes some effort and takes some coordination and takes a lot of work in terms of standards and standard setting as well. So, for me, I'm really excited to see how this tech is going to really massively scale over the next few years into many trillions of volume and scale on a daily basis. For me, I'm really excited to see how this tech is going to really massively scale over the next few years into many trillions of volume and scale on a daily basis.
That is a very, very big deal. And in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how the price of XRP is going to exceed $100 very easily because people have no idea what's coming into this sector. It is going to be worth so much. And look, we are making headlines in terms of Bitcoin. It's on the front page of Bloomberg. Bitcoin surges past 42,000 as crypto rally gathers steam. Retail investors are on standby right now, just waiting to see what happens, and they're going to buy once everything starts mooning. And everything is falling into place, folks. Take a look at this. This was just released 12 hours ago. Zodia Custody integrates on Matico network. Zodia Custody sounds familiar. Is that the same company that SBI led in a round of funding back in April? Do you guys see how this is all correlated with SBI Japan, SBI R3, SBI Ripple, Matico being owned by Ripple? Do you see this, folks? Go ahead and smash that like button because also back in 2020, Standard Chartered and Northern Trust partnered for Zodia. And don't forget, Standard Chartered was one of the first investors into Ripple alongside Google and CME Ventures back in 2015. Not a lot of people know that, but it's a very, very big deal. And now, let's get into this video by Scott Lucas. He's the head of DLT at JP Morgan. Listen to what he has to say here about how each asset class he's referring to in terms of real estate, bonds, derivatives, stocks, insurance, 15 to 50% of the value in those sectors are going to be tokenized. And that is a very, very big number. Listen to him very carefully.
I think a reasonable proportion of how much of each type of asset class in what market by what type will kind of eventually evolve into using this technology, other than to say regulated markets will be on this technology using it in a sophisticated way within a decade. And what a reasonable proportion could be anywhere from the 10% mentioned previously to anywhere sort of sub 50. I don't think more.
And that is why we have top bank executives preaching very recently that trillions are about to get tokenized. Just take a listen to some of these few individuals.
So when I talk about the $10 trillion that we're processing every night,
if we think about the opportunity, how we get to beyond the 1 trillion, I would start with private asset space is a $290 trillion market around the world.
We know already what they are thinking. So let's go there and try to build things that are compliance, and we can tap into these $330 trillion.
I think the market is about $1 trillion today, give or take. And then when you look at all the other assets in the world, depending on whose report you read, it varies between 300 trillion and 700 trillion. It is my firm belief that everything can be tokenized. So,
and we're not even talking about the non-cash payment systems. FedWire in 2021 was almost at $1 quadrillion. Chips was at $500 trillion in 2021, and all those numbers are a lot higher today than way they were back in 2021. And now let's get into this breakdown. The fundamental valuation framework for crypto assets that was put together by a BlackRock individual, Robert Mitchnick, and Susan Atley, a Ripple employee as of right now, for a long time. Why do I keep coming back to this? Because these individuals were very, very conservative on XRP's price target. They had to be. They were a part of Ripple at the time. And why do I say they were very conservative? Because take a look at the valuation that they gave for Bitcoin. They said the low estimates would be 45,000, which pretty much where we are today. And the high estimate would be $93,000. And we reached $69,000 pretty much propped up by FTX collapse, Luna, COVID, all that crazy stuff. It hasn't seen real utility. They're calling for a $32 XRP once we reach a daily volume for XRP at $556 billion. But you guys already just heard those trillions of dollars that are going to flood into this market, and tokens with utility are going to benefit the most off of those trillions coming into the market. So take a look at this. 15% of the derivatives is about $90 trillion. Global real estate, 15%, $48 trillion. S&P, 15%, $5 trillion. Global debt, 15%, $45 trillion. We're not even talking about bonds. We're not even talking about insurance settlements. There's a lot that we are leaving out here. We're not even talking about payments in this portion, okay? And now, when we go to their valuation, as you guys could see right here, $556 billion in daily volume for XRP. They set $32. And they said the market cap would be $3.2 trillion. And that's with 100 billion XRP circulating. And that is why I say it is very, very conservative. But now let's do the math that they wanted to do probably, but they didn't. So why don't we add tokenization, real estate, derivatives, insurance, bonds, stocks? But they only included retail remittance, corporate payments, and foreign exchange trading, which those numbers are way higher than they are when they did it back in 2018. We got the daily FX market exceeding over $8 trillion a day, right? If we were to just, say a $1.7 trillion in volume with 100 billion XRP circulating, that would give a value of $98 per XRP and a market cap of $9.9 trillion, which these targets, a $9.9 trillion market cap for XRP, will be met 1,000,000,000%. There's no if, it's going to happen 1,000,000,000%. Okay, it's just, you're not stopping this train. So now let's get into what everybody wants to see. We said $189 trillion of those four asset classes. But we're not even going to do the math with 189 trillion. We're going to take 30% of that and we get $56 trillion. And when we do the math on this, we get a $7.2 trillion in daily volume with 100 billion XRP circulating and a market cap of $42 trillion in market cap. That's if 100 billion XRP is circulating. Is this crazy? Absolutely not. And don't be that individual on the other end of the screen saying it's never going to reach these numbers. It will. But you got to consider that 99% of you will be selling at $5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90. All of this XRP will be soaked up by institutions eventually. Because once the utility kicks in, the major demand for XRP will be from not institutional investors, but institutions that are going to be utilizing XRP. Okay, there's going to be a lot of benefits by utilizing XRP. Let's say there isn't 100 billion XRP circulating. Given this market cap, what could be the price of XRP? Well, let's take a look. With 90 billion XRP circulating, we're looking at a $466 per XRP. With 80 billion XRP circulating, we're talking about a $525 per XRP. 70 billion, $600 per XRP, and 60 billion circulating, $700 per XRP. And all of these numbers may sound crazy to you guys, but $1 Bitcoin, a 30-cent Bitcoin once sounded crazy too. And a lot of you guys don't understand that the fact that the price of XRP has gone sideways since pretty much inception to now is a very bullish outlook on XRP overall. I want you guys to understand what you guys hold is an asset that is being looked over by global entities, and they're coordinating an all-hands approach to this asset. You can't make another XRP because you need to go back and do everything that XRP and Ripple has already built for the past 10 years. There's patents that are in place which you can't go around. Ripple could sell their patents by licensing them. There's just so many important aspects that we left out in this content, in this episode, because there's just too many perspectives to look at this from. But just the trillions, this is going to be much bigger than the stock market. Way bigger than the stock market. The stock market, 100 trillion, this is going to be way more than $100 trillion because this is more transparent than the stock market. This is something that we have never seen before, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you guys to just understand that. Okay, our human minds, no human has ever seen anything like this. But just understand trillions are coming. And that is why these high-level individuals at the banks are being very vocal about spitting out trillions of dollars in all their sentences. We'll be back with another video.
Big banks and financial institutions are much more interested today than they certainly were 5 or 6 years ago when we rolled out the product the first time.
As more companies like Veeam start to use XRP and use digital currencies in their funding flows, they're going to be putting a massive amount of pressure on banks and larger financial institutions to start using this as well, or they're going to be toast.
It's much better even now versus even just the past few years. And with that comes sort of big name institutional adoption that I think will be encouraging for others that might have been on the fence.
But XRP, it's really about this very fundamental driver of demand. Yeah, I mean, if XRP is going to be inserted deeply into the financial system, the market cap has to be orders of magnitude bigger. It has to be able to support institutional flows in the orders of magnitude of trillions of dollars. You know, today it's a lot smaller. As more companies like Veeam start to use XRP and use digital currencies in their funding flows, they're going to be putting a massive amount of pressure on banks.
And we're not even talking about non-cash payment systems. We had FedWire at almost a
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has
it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.